Have you ever tripped in public and felt like every eye in the room was locked on you? Like your embarrassment was being broadcast in 4K? Reality check. No one noticed. They were too busy thinking about themselves. That's the first rule of psychology most men forget. Everyone is trapped in their own mental bubble, and once you understand that, you stop fearing judgment and start owning your space. Because here's the truth. The most successful, respected, and influential men you see aren't born lucky. They've simply learned how the human mind works and how to move through the world using it. This video isn't just facts, it's psychological strategy. Today, you'll learn 9 mental shifts, backed by science, that will sharpen your awareness, increase your influence, and quietly separate you from 99% of men. Let's begin. Part 1. Everyone's in their own head, so stop living in theirs. Here's something that should instantly ease your anxiety. Most people aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, their image, their insecurities, their own imaginary audience. This is called the spotlight effect. The illusion that all eyes are on you, when in reality people are barely noticing. So what does this mean for you? It means you can take risks, speak up, show up in a new way. Because even if you mess up, no one's tracking your every move. They're too busy obsessing over their own. The man who understands this stops playing defense. He becomes bolder, more relaxed, and more magnetic, because he's not wasting energy on imaginary judgment. So next time your mind says, "They're watching you," remind yourself, no, they're watching themselves. That's when you stop hiding and start showing up. Part 2. Silence isn't awkward. It's a trigger. Most men rush to speak. They fear the silence. But silence isn't awkward. It's leverage. When you ask a question, pause, hold eye contact. Let the silence hang. Why? Because human psychology hates the unknown. That pause creates pressure, and most people will fill it with more truth than they plan to share. This is a conversational power move. It makes you seem composed, deliberate, and deeply present. It invites others to go deeper, to reveal more, to lean in. Example, ask, "What made you choose that path?" Then wait. Don't jump in. Don't rescue them from the silence. Let it work. In business, in dating, in friendship. The one who's comfortable in silence controls the pace. Because in a world addicted to noise, stillness is dominance. Part 3. Habits. Take 66 days. Not motivation, but momentum. Forget the 21-day myth. Science says it takes about 66 days to build or break a habit. That's not exciting, but it's real. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes, but momentum is structural. Want to change your life? Then stop chasing motivation. Build systems, use cues, track your streaks. Make the habit easier to start than to skip. Example, instead of deciding to get in shape, decide, "I never go 2 days without moving." Or, "I lay my gym clothes out the night before." That's not willpower, that's engineering. Here's the truth. The man who controls his habits controls his identity, and identity, once locked in, doesn't rely on discipline. It runs on default. So be patient, be structured, because after day 66, you won't be trying to change. You'll become the change. Part 4. Real intelligence doubts itself. Dunning-Kruger explained simply. You've met them. The loudest guy in the room, speaking with full confidence and zero substance. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in action, a psychological bias where the less someone knows, the more they think they know. Why? Because they don't know enough to realize how much they don't know. Meanwhile, the truly intelligent, they hesitate. They question. They stay curious. Not because they're unsure, but because they're aware. This is your edge. When you feel uncertain, don't shrink. Lean in. It means you're growing. It means your brain isn't trying to perform. It's trying to understand. So next time someone brags, let them. Because the man who speaks the least often knows the most. And in a world full of noise, humility is the real sign of mastery. Part 5. Lead with curiosity, not credentials. Here's the cheat code most men never learn. People don't remember the guy who knew the most. They remember the one who made them feel smart. Instead of flexing what you know, ask better questions. Let others speak. Let them be the expert. Why? Because when someone feels like they're teaching you, they associate that confidence with your presence. Example. Instead of saying, "Yeah, I've read a ton about that," try, "What got you into that? That's fascinating." Now you've shifted the spotlight. And in doing so, you've built influence without even trying. Charisma isn't about dominating a conversation. It's about making the other person feel seen, capable, and important. Lead with curiosity, and they'll follow your presence long after the conversation ends. Part 6. Sharing food disarms tension instantly. Want to lower someone's defenses fast? Offer food or eat something yourself. Sounds too simple. It's not. Psychologists call it effective disarmament. When we eat, our brain shifts out of survival mode. We feel safe, grounded, human. That's why important business deals happen over dinner, why tension dissolves over coffee, and why even a shared snack can reset the emotional temperature in a room, in a heated conversation. Try offering something small. Chips, a protein bar, a drink. You're not just feeding their stomach, you're feeding familiarity. It says, we're not enemies, we're just people. And people who feel fed, feel seen. It's primal, it's powerful, and it works better than most words ever could. Sometimes the fastest way to connect is to chew at the same time. Part 7. Music primes perception. Use it deliberately. Music doesn't just change your mood, it rewires your perception. A 2011 study revealed something wild. People who listened to sad music were more likely to interpret neutral faces as sad. Those who heard upbeat music, they saw happiness even when it wasn't there. It's called emotional priming. And it means your soundtrack shapes your worldview. So, what are you feeding your brain before a date, before a negotiation, before walking into a room where respect matters? Choose intentionally. Upbeat for confidence, calm for clarity, instrumental for focus. This isn't about playlists, it's about programming, because the version of you that shows up, the one who speaks, reacts, leads, is heavily influenced by the last 5 minutes of sound you absorbed. Control your audio, and you start controlling the room before you even enter it. Part 8. A name is a shortcut to connection. Want to instantly make someone feel recognized? Say their name. Not 3 times, not in every sentence, just once, at the right moment. Why does it work? Because hearing your name activates the brain's reward system. It's wired in. It says, "This moment is about me." You're not just talking to a person anymore. You're talking to them. Example, instead of saying, "That's a great point," try, "That's a great point, Malik. It actually made me rethink my view." Now it hits different, because now it's personal. It's not just praise, it's acknowledgement. But here's the key. Use it sparingly. Too much feels manipulative. Too little feels cold. Just one well-placed mention. That's power. Because in a noisy world, your name is the one word that cuts through everything. Part 9. Multitasking is a lie. Focus wins. You think you're multitasking? You're not. You're task switching badly. The human brain isn't designed to do two conscious tasks at once. Every time you jump between tabs, between your phone and a conversation, between ideas and distractions, you lose speed, depth, and clarity. It's called attention residue, and it stacks up like digital dust in your brain. Want to stand out in a distracted world? Here's the move. Do one thing, fully. Read without checking your phone. Write without flipping songs. Listen without planning your response. You'll process deeper, speak clearer, and finish faster than the guy trying to do 3 things at once. Badly. In a world drunk on dopamine and distraction, focus is the new flex. Master it, and you become the sharpest person in any room. Knowledge isn't power. Applied Psychology Island. You don't need more facts. You need more application, because information doesn't change your life. Execution does. Now you know. People aren't watching you as closely as you feared. Silence makes you powerful. Habits shape your identity. Humility hides true intelligence. Focus makes you rare. And presence, real presence, starts with mastering these psychology truths. So the question isn't, did you enjoy this video? It's, will you use it? If this shifted something inside you, hit like. If you know someone who needs this, share it. And if you're ready to keep upgrading your mindset, subscribe, because this channel isn't here to entertain. It's here to sharpen men who are done being passive. You've seen the psychology, now go live it.